remember playing backyard baseball with my family. We had a little family get together every 4th of July, and we would play like a family softball game, which turned into mush ball because I think my great aunt's windows kept getting shattered, and so did a couple cars. So we had to move to mush ball. That was like my first real introduction to the sport, and I kind of fell in love with it ever since.
From backyard baseball all the way to the Range Riders, his family has played a big part in Ty Bothwell's career.
My family members were very supportive all the way through high school, and my mom was like the one always taking me to games, always there for me when I needed it. And, she was always giving me advice, and she wasn't like the biggest baseball person, but I think she grew to love it more and more as I grew up and started to gain experience and exposure and started to learn a lot more. I think that she almost learned more than I did sometimes. And then my little brother, he was always like our team bat boy in travel ball, and which was funny because like he would learn so much from all of us and take it into his games. And with him being like 5 years younger, like he would like pitch right-handed and then like pick off to third base and had like an amazing move and would get like 3 guys out a game, and everybody to be like, oh my gosh, like where's he learn all this stuff from? And it was like he's watching all the older guys play, and so it was cool to watch him grow up, and I think he would have been much better than me as a player. I mean, that dude was hitting balls out of high school fields when he was like 12, 13 years old. Like, he was impressive to watch.
Not only did his family play a role on the baseball field, but also in the rodeo world.
First like 5, 6 years of my life, even maybe a little after that, like my parents were big into rodeo. Like I grew up on a farm. We had horses, a little rodeo pen and arena in the backyard that, local friends and family would come over and they would like rope or even hold like memorial rodeos for my grandfather. After he passed away, we would have a lot of people come over, and it piqued my interest and I had a lot of fun with. I wanted to be a bull rider. I just try and stay on as long as possible, and I had a lot of fun doing it, and I thought like this is pretty cool. You gotta be a little crazy to do it, which I feel like I kind of fit that role a little bit, but it's pretty dangerous. That was what I wanted to be when I grew up, and then baseball took right over, and haven't really looked too far back from there.
From bull riding to the bullpen, Bothwell found himself spending his college years at Indiana University.
A lot of things happened during my college years. I met a lot of friends, played a lot of good competition, and was able to learn a lot. And it was a rocky road from the start, though, just being a little undersized and underdeveloped. I came in at 5'8", 150 pounds, and I was throwing maybe like 81 to 84 as a freshman in college, and saw myself being outlifted by a lot of guys. A lot of guys were like 3 to 4 times even stronger than me. They were faster than me, they threw harder than me, and I felt like I didn't belong. And then they called me in and told me that I was being gray-shirted, which is basically as if I'm getting cut. I was told that I had to lift on my own, throw on my own, and I made myself a promise that I would end up competing for that team. And I came back, and I was our 4th starter in a 4-man rotation. I feel like the hard work and the time and effort and a lot of mental days were put into that, but I feel like it definitely paid off because I'm blessed to be in the position I'm at and be here. So in the end, also got engaged while I was in college. So it was definitely an experience to have.
And this engagement was nothing short of strikeouts, success, and smiles.
I planned to propose over the summer. I got the ring, but towards the end of our season, my head coach came up to me. He's like, dude, if we make it to a regional, he's like, you got proposed on field. He must have known something because we were the first team called in the Tennessee regional, and I was like, all right, we're doing it. And I told everybody on my team that first game was win at all costs. We won, and I was like, come on out here. Like, I just pitched a great game. Like, let's take some pictures. And she's like confused, like, nobody goes on the field. Like, what are we doing? And my buddy came up behind me and put the ring in my hand while we were taking pictures, and then, you know, it was, she said yes after that. So, I mean, it was a pretty beautiful experience, like definitely the best moment of my life. And we're very excited, so.
Now you might wonder why Ty Bothwell has the nickname Zookeeper. Well, here's why.
I'd always been around animals my whole life. With the animal behavior degree, I actually don't really specialize as much with mammals, which is kind of different because I grew up around the farm life. I actually specialize in reptiles and amphibians, which I have a couple animals at home. Blue poisonous dart frogs, Rash, and Blitz. And then I have Echo, the leopard gecko. She's funny. She definitely has a personality, that's for sure. And then Crisp, the crested gecko, and I don't trust her at all. She's a wild one. And then I just recently lost my Jackson chameleon, Trip.
It can be hard being away from his pets, but his experiences with the Valley sure make up for it.
One of the coolest aspects of playing here is like the amount of kids that come down and, you know, ask for autographs or just to talk to us. And I enjoy that because, you know, we were all there once, like where we're like looking up to the older guy and, you know, watching games, learning, and just like being a part of everything. I love it just because it is a kid's game and we're just playing it, you know, and it's good to give back to the community and give it back to the kids and all the support that they have, as well as the rest of the Valley. So it's been, as I said before, a true blessing.
Clearly, the community here is great, but how's the community within the team?
Between the coaching staff and the players, like I've never seen such a great group of guys that can blend together so well, and with how much we blend together, like I can already tell like it's going to be a special year. We have a lot of talent on this team and a lot of guys that want to win, and once you make that switch and everything starts to click, especially with how good the culture is here, it's going to be really special to see.
Christina Fusco, Glacier Range Riders.